name is Emma. I am 28 years old, and I live in a quiet neighborhood in Chicago called Lincoln Park. It's a peaceful place with tall trees, small shops, and friendly neighbors. Many people say I have a good life. I have a husband, a nice apartment, and a stable job at a bookstore. But deep inside, I am not happy. Every day, I wake up with a heavy heart. 1 year ago, I made a big mistake. I married a man named Leo. He is 32 years old. Leo is a good man. He is kind, gentle, and always smiles. But I do not love him. I married him not because of love, but because I was angry and sad. I wanted to forget my ex-boyfriend Alex, who broke my heart. I wanted to move on quickly, so I said yes when Leo asked me to marry him. At that time, I thought marriage would help me feel better. I believed that maybe love would come later. But love never came. And now, I am the one who is hurting. Leo does everything to make me happy. He brings me flowers on Fridays. He cooks dinner when I feel tired. He writes small notes and puts them in my lunch bag. He calls me my sunshine and always kisses my forehead. Many women would feel lucky to have a man like him. But I feel sad because I cannot love him back. One night we were sitting on the balcony. The stars were bright and the air was warm. Leo looked at me and said, "Emma, I know you don't love me yet, but I believe you will. I will wait. My love is strong enough for both of us." His words made me want to cry. He was so full of hope, but I had no hope inside me. I felt like I was lying every day. I smiled when I didn't want to. I said thank you when I felt nothing. I was living a life that didn't belong to me. My mother once told me, "Emma, love can grow with time. Marriage is not always about strong feelings. It is about kindness, respect, and patience." I tried to believe her. I tried to be patient. But every day, I felt more and more like a stranger in my own life. One Friday evening, Leo made a special dinner for me. He cooked my favorite dish, chicken pasta with garlic bread. He lit candles, played soft music, and even wore the blue shirt I liked. He said, "This is for you, Emma. Emma, you are my everything." I looked at him, smiled a little, and said, "Thank you." But inside, I felt empty. I could not enjoy the food. I could not enjoy the music. I felt like I was acting in a play, not living a real life. After dinner, Leo took my hand and said, "Let's go for a walk." We walked to the small park near our apartment. There, under the old oak tree, Leo had proposed to me 1 year ago. He smiled and said, "Remember this place? I told you I would love you forever." I looked at the tree, then at him. I wanted to scream, "I don't love you, Leo!" But I stayed quiet. I didn't want to hurt him. He looked so happy, so full of love, and I felt like a terrible person. That night, I couldn't sleep. I stared at the ceiling for hours. I thought about my life, my choices, and my heart, I asked myself, will I ever feel happy again? The next morning, my best friend Nina called me. She said, "Emma, your voice sounds tired. Are you okay?" I wanted to say yes, but I couldn't lie, so I told her the truth. "I don't love Leo," I said softly. "I married him because I wanted to forget someone else. But I feel trapped now. I feel sad every day." Nina was quiet for a moment. Then she said, "Maybe you need some space. Maybe time apart will help you understand your heart better." I shook my head. "It's not time, Nina. My heart just doesn't feel anything for him." Later that day, I sat with Leo on the sofa. I tried to speak. "Leo," I said, "I need to talk to you." But before I could say more, he stopped me. "I know what you're going to say," he said quickly. "Please don't give up on us yet, Emma. I still believe we can make this work." His eyes were full of hope again, and I felt worse. I didn't want to destroy his hope, but I knew I couldn't give him what he needed. I felt tired, like I was carrying a heavy bag every day. One Sunday, Leo asked me something that shocked me. "Emma," he said, "do you want to have a baby? I think it will bring us closer." I froze. I didn't know what to say. The idea of having a child with someone I didn't love scared me. I looked down at my hands and said quietly, "I'm not ready, Leo." He nodded slowly. He looked hurt, but he didn't push me. That made me feel even worse. He was always gentle, always kind, and I was always silent, always distant. That night, I wrote in my journal, "I feel like I'm drowning in this marriage. Leo is a good man, but I can't be the wife he deserves." I also wrote, "Sometimes I want to leave, but I'm scared. What will people think? Will they say I am selfish? Will they say I didn't try hard enough?" One evening, I packed a small bag. I planned to leave. I looked at Leo while he was sleeping. He looked peaceful. He looked happy. I stood by the door holding my bag, but I couldn't do it. I put the bag down and sat on the floor. I cried quietly. The next morning, Leo made coffee for me. He kissed my cheek and said, "Good morning, my love. I believe in us." His words broke my heart again. I wanted to scream, "Stop hoping!" But I stayed quiet again. I walked to the window and looked at the street. A dog was running, kids were laughing, and the sun was shining. The world was moving, but inside I felt stuck. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to fix my life. I only knew one thing. I couldn't live like this forever. Before I share the rest of my story, I want to ask you something. Where are you listening from? It gives me strength to know someone is hearing my words, someone who understands. Please tell me in the comments. I would really love to know. The days passed slowly. I woke up every morning, made breakfast, went to work at the bookstore, came home, and smiled for Leo. But inside, I was tired. I was tired of pretending. One Saturday, Leo came home early with 2 movie tickets in his hand. He said, "Emma, let's go out tonight. Just you and me. I want to see you smile again." I nodded and said, "Okay." But I didn't want to go. I just didn't want to say no. That evening, I wore a nice dress and put on lipstick. I looked happy, but I didn't feel happy. At the theater, Leo held my hand. He laughed at the funny scenes. He looked at me often, hoping to see joy on my face. I tried to smile, but my smile didn't feel real. After the movie, he said, "That was fun, right?" Said, "Yes, it was nice." But deep inside, I felt cold. When we reached home, Leo made tea for both of us. We sat on the couch, and he put his arm around me. He whispered, "I missed you, Emma." I looked away. I didn't answer. I felt bad. I knew I was hurting him every day, not with words, but with silence. The next morning, I went to see my friend Nina. We sat at a cafe near the lake. The sky was cloudy and the wind was cold. Nina looked at me with worried eyes. "Emma, you don't look well," she said. "You look tired." I took a deep breath and told her everything again. "Nina, I feel like I'm in a box with no door. I want to leave, but I'm scared. Leo is a good man. Everyone will hate me if I hurt him." Nina took my hand and said, "No one can live your life for you. If you are not happy, you must be honest. Leo deserves the truth, and so do you." Her words touched me, but they didn't take away the fear. What if I hurt Leo too much? What if I regret leaving? That night, I sat by the window and looked outside. The street was quiet. Lights from other homes were glowing. I wondered if people in those homes were happy. Did they also pretend like me? Leo came and sat beside me. He looked at me with gentle eyes and said, "Emma, you've been so quiet lately. I feel like I'm losing you." I wanted to tell him the truth, but I couldn't. I looked at him and said, "I'm just tired. Work has been busy." He didn't say anything. He just nodded. I could see the sadness in his eyes. The next week, Leo planned a short trip. He said, "Let's go to Lake Geneva for the weekend. Just you and me. Maybe the fresh air will help." I didn't want to go, but I said yes again. I didn't want to hurt him. We drove for 2 hours. The lake was calm,